While the Joy-Con grip is a neat accessory, it has some serious shortcomings. It's not very ergonomic, the joysticks are less than stellar, and it's tiny. The worst part is that there's only one other first-party controller out there, the Pro Controller, which is great, but it comes at a huge price premium. So in today's video, we're going to be checking out a third-party controller that is half the price of the Pro Controller and seeing if it can give it a run for its money. Let's take a look. Welcome to Showdown, the series where we pit two different products against one another and pick a winner. If we haven't met, I'm Aaron and this is Top Spec, your one-stop shop for tech content. Today we're going to be comparing the Switch Pro controller to a third-party controller from a company called EasySMX. It actually doesn't have a specific name other than EasySMX Game Controller, so we're just going to be calling it the EasySMX for the remainder of the video. Disclaimer, we were actually sent this controller for free about a month ago, but this is not a sponsored video and all opinions expressed will be my own. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the technical details of these two controllers. This guy is powered via USB-C and in many respects is very similar to the Pro Controller. In terms of button layout, the two controllers are identical. They play very similarly to something like an Xbox controller, except for the fact that they decided to say fuck you to the standard ABXY layout for whatever reason, but it's fine I guess. In terms of physical weight and construction, both of these are really nice in the hands, but having both of them right in front of me, the Pro Controller is undeniably the more premium feeling of the two. I actually weighed both of these controllers and the Pro Controller is 247 grams, while the EasySMX is only 197. Although there is only a difference of 50 grams between them, the added weight does make the Pro Controller feel a little bit higher quality. Another small bonus that the Pro Controller features is that it has two different types of plastic, one being this smooth resin-like plastic on the body, and the other being this, well, grippy material on the grips of the controllers. The EasySMX, on the other hand, is all composed of the same material, but that doesn't make it feel overly cheap for the price at all. Moving past the materials, let's talk about how the buttons feel. Well, actually, both of these controllers feel pretty good to use. The ABXY buttons do feel different between the two controllers, with the EasySMX being a little bit more clicky, and the Pro Controller having a little bit more movement. So that being said, this doesn't make one or the other seem more cheap, it's just down to preference. However, something that is clearly cheaped out on the EasySMX is the D-pad. It's certainly usable, but the D-pad on the Pro Controller is miles better, and if you're planning on using it frequently, you should keep that in mind. The sticks on both of the controllers are comparable, and nothing really stands out to me about the bumpers or triggers. In terms of battery life, the EasySMX has about 8 hours, while the Pro Controller is generally said to have about 40 hours. This difference is pretty notable, but I'll touch more on that when I give you my opinions later. To touch on functionality, both of these work perfectly. There's no noticeable latency while using them, and you can actually connect both of them to a Windows PC using Bluetooth, which is awesome. I always find myself struggling to round up a bunch of Xbox controllers whenever me and my friends want to play local games on my PC, so having some readily available Bluetooth controllers that are compatible for PC from the get-go is great. The only features that the EasySMX lacks are an NFC touchpoint and gyroscope motion controls for games that support that. The NFC touchpoint might irk some of you, but I don't think anybody cares about the gyroscope. The only implementation of it in a game I've personally encountered is some puzzles in Breath of the Wild, but even there it was horrible and I opted to use the sticks to control it anyways. I don't think you can go wrong with either of these controllers. They're both very different with equally different price points. Though I've been a little bit hard on it, if you're looking for the best value, the EasySMX is definitely the way to go. I personally wish I had waited for it and controllers like it to come out before I picked up another Pro Controller and another pair of Joy-Cons for me and my friends to play Smash Ultimate. Sure, the Pro Controller is undeniably the more premium feeling of the two controllers, and it has a couple features that the EasySMX doesn't have, but if you're strapped for cash, your friends won't hate you if you toss them one of these. It's not like when you would play MW2 with your friends and one of them would hand you a horrible third-party controller and it would give you a huge disadvantage. This is basically just like this. Additionally, using the EasySMX is better than using the Joy-Cons, grip or no grip. And you can get 2 of them for the same price as a Pro Controller, and nearly 3 of them for the same price as a set of Joy-Cons. That's crazy. However, if you are okay with spending $60 on a controller, the Pro Controller's added weight, improved D-pad, and longer battery life can justify that price tag to me. It and the Joy-Cons are also the only controllers Nintendo designs its first-party titles specifically in mind for, so you're likely to have a better experience in games such as Breath of the Wild. Oh, yeah, and that game's upcoming sequel, because that's a thing. The best thing, like I already mentioned, is that the battery life is insane. The EasySMX's 8-hour battery life is respectable, but the Pro Controller has a whole 40 hours of battery life. If you do the math, that's 5 times the amount that the EasySMX has. So if you're looking for a controller that you can just charge and throw out on your desk and not worry about charging it for like another week or 2, this is the one for you. That's really everything I had to say though, so if you're interested in picking up either of these controllers, links down below. Okay, now it's time to test these 2 controllers out and have a little bit of fun. Get over here. So what we're going to do is play a round of Smash using these 2 controllers, and I'm going to let Chris try out the EasySMX because it'll be his first time using it. Deal?
Yeah, alright.
Alright, so now that we're in Smash, we're going to play a 3-stock match with all the standard stuff, so we're going to have unlimited time, no items, all that jazz. Chris has the EasySMX like I already said, and I'm going to be using the Pro Controller.
When you first use it, from using a Pro Controller, you notice it's a bit lighter. The finish on the plastic is a bit more coarse than it is on the Pro Controller. The Pro Controller is really smooth, it's a bit more coarse, but no real complaints in terms of it doesn't feel like it's creaking in my hands. It's not gonna break when I lose, but I'm playing Kirby though.
Just a disclaimer, we're like okay at Smash.
No, I'm not. I just like playing Kirby.
I was like 3rd in a tournament with like...
Nobody cares.
Shut the fuck.
Another thing you'll notice going from the Pro Controller to the EasySMX controller is the actual joystick is different. Like the tip they have on the end of the joystick is
why are you fighting me already?
What do you mean? Okay, so the joystick of the Pro Controller is a soft kind of rubber type material, and this is just like some sort of hard plastic. Almost fell off the mat. This is tough. This is some sort of hard plastic, and it doesn't feel as good as the Pro Controller. Obviously, the Pro Controller is double the money.
We played like 1 match before this to warm up, and we're not any better. Goodbye. Damn. I beat him in the warm-up game, and he was like still trying to roast me.
Yeah, because you got down to 1 stock.
Shut the
104% with Kirby.
And
Kirby! Another thing is the buttons, the actual buttons that you press themselves are a bit more mushy than the Pro Controller, but it's not a problem once you get used to it. It's fine. Obviously, I think a good use for this controller is you have friends that come over that, well, if they have a Pro Controller, they can bring their own, obviously.
Yeah.
But if they don't and they just want to play Smash or Mario Kart or something, then you can obviously buy 2 of these for the price of 1 Pro Controller, and you can have a lot more friends play. Because it really doesn't matter how good quality your secondary controllers are.
Yeah. Again, though, like I mentioned in the review, it's nothing like when... Oh, shit. I've had to encounter using many horrible third-party controllers, and it's nowhere along those. Jesus.
The back 2 bumpers have a lot more travel than the Pro Controller, and they just don't have a lot of resistance to them.
Mm-hmm. Some people were complaining on the Pro Controller that the triggers like literally don't have any movement. Yeah, and they're just like clicky.
No travel, yeah.
And so it's like a preference thing. I didn't really talk about that in the review, but it
could be a variable thing. I don't know if it's like variable, so it might be good for like racing games. Like I don't know what racing games are on Switch, but
Fast RMX.
Yeah.
You were roasting my ass so
no,
hard.
I wasn't.
Oh, get up. Well, you're gonna show that I win at the end.
What the hell? You're over here tryharding.
I'm not tryharding. I'm vibing.
Oh, the whole time.
I am vibing.
And then you just said, "When I win." Fuck you.
See, look, you got me. You got me.
You purposely fell from that. Don't give me. I saw your hands off the controller. Don't play victim. No.
You don't know what you're talking about. Watch this. Yeah, you're just gonna drop on me. Okay, anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. We had a bit of fun. We tried out both of the controllers. Both of them are nice for their price points. Again, links down below, and we'll see you next week.